After smashing the Baggies 5-1 in the third round, Bournemouth travel to Merseyside on Saturday as they face Everton in the fourth round of the FA Cup. We've been to Goodison twice previously, wondering if it'd be the last time we saw the great old lady, but with the new stadium at Bramley Moore Dock definitely ready for the start of next season, this will be the last time we go there. Welcome to the big match preview. This is Back of the Net. We're an AFC Bournemouth fan channel. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
Look, Goodison is old, it's antiquated, but there's a unique charm about it. And whilst we've experienced some bad times there, we've also had a brilliant time.
Roll it back.
Pretty special game there, Tom. We were atrocious for 95% of that game.
Yeah, we were, mate. And it's a weird one. Obviously, you can go into context about loads of other good results we've had. But in terms of being there and in the moment and the limbs and all that stuff, it's probably my favourite.
Oh, easily.
I think of them, it's always obviously last minute. We've had it at Ipswich this season, to be fair, and we had it at Dagger at Tottenham previously, but this was another level. On 85 minutes, I thought this is absolutely abysmal. We scored a goal and you think, oh, a little consolation, but how we done that?
You couldn't even bring yourself to stand up to celebrate that goal because you thought this is all it's going to be, just a consolation.
Yeah, and then the last two I wasn't standing up because I was on the floor. But no, it was incredible, and I think They've always had our number at Goodison. Was that our first win there? I believe it was, or certainly I've seen there.
Well, that we could see, yeah.
Yeah.
See, we won where we got relegated, which wasn't good.
Oh, yes, COVID, of course. But yeah, I think in general we've had some tough times there. So in my head, I was like, the last time we've gone there, we managed to have a good one. But of course, we got to go there again. And I remember when the draw came out thinking that is a hideous draw. I'm not going back there, but I'm going.
We're going. But of course, we've already played them this year as well, albeit that was at home. It was a David Brooks goal, and they were, as expected, a very difficult team to break down. Now, a few days after that, Sean Dyche was given his P45.
He was.
Gone. And how many times have Bournemouth dished up a result only for the manager to get sacked immediately afterwards? Quite a few times. I think it's 4 in total.
Is it?
Apparently. You may need to put me right. So Tommy Burns, he was the Reading manager in 1999.
Yeah, remember it well.
And we played them on my birthday. I'll always remember this because I played football at Kings Park in the morning for the AFC Bournemouth mailing list team.
Did we win?
Yeah, we won. I scored a few. John Sharkey's. Who played in that? If you're still about, let us know in the comments. And then...
Well done if you're still about, by the way.
3-1, we beat Reading. Chris Casper scored an own goal for them.
Okay, yeah.
And and then Tommy Burns was sacked. Chris Turner for Sheffield Wednesday, that was in September 2004. We caused them to lose 1-0 and he was sacked. Steve McLaren for Newcastle.
Yeah.
And now Sean Dyche. Now,
I know you're missing one. I know you are for a fact.
Go on.
When we won the league championship first time round, it was all a big thing because the first game of the season we went to Huddersfield and absolutely murdered them.
Yeah.
And the manager got sacked after one game. 100%. 100%.
And him too. Apparently.
I'm sure you did, because everyone was like, bloody hell, they've only lost one game.
Are there more?
There probably
I'm talking immediately afterwards, because I always thought Mourinho, but I think Chelsea then played Leicester.
They probably had like
So it wasn't us that did it, but let's us know. But so who came in? The trusty David Moyes. He, of course, was previously at Everton between 2002, 2013,
Awesome.
and he left obviously to take over the Manchester United role from Sir Alex Ferguson in a job that is basically a poison chalice. If you're in charge of that club, I mean, what's mad is that Solskjaer is probably their most successful manager since Fergie left.
The amount of times that they've sacked another manager, and I've gone, if they hadn't already given it to Moyes, he might be in the running here. Like, Moyes probably didn't do that bad. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, listen, David Moyes has some people that aren't too keen. I know West Ham fans were kind of done with him. It was like the end of the cycle. But listen, his record as a gaffer and certainly steadying the ship. And I always feel like every time I've heard, because obviously he's been around a long time, ex-players or players that have played under him, it always seems like he's someone that players like to play under. So he's obviously got something about him. And listen, the results itself for Everton prove that.
Absolutely. So look, we beat Everton 1-0 on the first game of this calendar year. And then, Tom, it was an FA Cup match. They beat Peterborough 2-0. But his first Premier League game in charge, at least, was, I mean, this is not one you want, but Villa at home. Yeah,
and they done all right in the game. They made it quite a tight one, but Villa got over the line, and Villa are a top side and a bit inconsistent this season, but still a really difficult game. But then I watched that game against Tottenham, and I know Tottenham will always be Tottenham, but Everton blew them away.
They did.
In the first half, and they were 3-0 up. Absolutely murdered them, and then Tottenham got a couple, and all I could think of was us at Goodison. I thought surely not, but they managed to see it through, which they deserved. But the win at Brighton was really impressive. Brighton away, clean sheet, 1-0 win, really impressive result. So certainly turned the corner, mate. And they still look defensively solid, but they look like they've got a little bit more about them in transitions going forward and stuff. But they have lost obviously Calvert-Lewin recently, kind of as many expect. So they've had to rely on a few different players, but I think Moyes just got a bit of a feel-good factor back there, which is what they probably needed.
When taking a look at their average position against Spurs, which I think is a team that doesn't play dissimilar to what we play,
no, you're right.
A fairly similar style, of course, that was at home as well. Certainly a lot more advanced than they ever have been, really, certainly under Dye. So they're certainly putting in more effort going forward, and like you say, they're a lot more effective with that, and maybe not so much emphasis on their defensive solidity. I think they were still solid, but conceding 2 to Spurs indicates that maybe there is still a little bit of chance to get through there. But what that has done is left them in no different a place, but there is quite a buffer now between them and the team in 18th place. So Moyes came to Everton with them 16th as they are now, but after 19 games they had 17 points, 1 point off a relegation place, but look at the gap now. He's certainly done a good job, and they're in the ideal position now to start climbing that table, and they could climb quite quickly if they wanted to. Yeah,
they could do, mate. They definitely could do. I think they'll continue to be kind of up and down. They'll get some, but I'd be shocked if they got dragged back in now. I think they've got enough quality. They've got an experienced manager, and I think that if it gets a bit more feel-good factor at Goodison, that would be a really tough place to go. Rather than it can be like on a knife edge at Goodison, kind of. I always remember it was similar at St James's before Eddie, when they had like Steve Bruce and things. It could turn. It could either get rocking or it could be hell. I think they'll have enough, mate. I actually think, there's more chance of them finishing higher than 16th than lower, in my opinion. I mean, you never know, but I think also the fact that the teams below, and particularly the bottom 3, I don't see getting on a good enough run anyway. I think Moyes has got virtually as many points in his short time returning than Amorim has the whole time he's been at Man United, which is a lot longer. So, their form's been good, mate, and I see them being absolutely fine. So, do they have a little cup run, maybe?
Well, exactly. I mean, the Premier League table is irrelevant for the cup, but it just gives you an indication as to how they've been doing, and we'll just actually check out the form table quickly in the Premier League, which just underlines how improved they are. Now, of course, in the Premier League, their next game is at home against Liverpool. The last chance, maybe, that they play Liverpool at home, should they not meet in a cup competition. But hopefully we'll put pay to that at the weekend. But that just shows you that they have improved.
Or Plymouth beat Liverpool.
But what will they do in the FA Cup? How seriously will they treat it? How seriously will we treat it? We tweet it? I can't even speak. However, we need to talk about the transfer window too. That's coming up. As you can see, we are at The QP, the home of Cherries fans on a match day. Where's the next home game?
Next home game, I believe, is Wolves.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Wolves in a few weeks yet. So yeah, because we've got them lot down the road, haven't we, in our next league game away from home. So yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's so close. You could probably come in it before anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe it's Wolves at home, and that is actually a nice little 3:00, isn't it? On Saturday.
It is. And of course, this is home of the £10 roast. We had a lovely message from Philip Martin, who was one of our competition winners, who took himself and his friends to the QP, and he said that he absolutely loved it, and he said he was thrilled to see the back of the net studio. He got some really lovely photos there. Pip's come on fan cams a few times as well, so you probably remember his face. He's the Reverend.
Yes.
Reverend Philip.
Yep.
Love that from you. And so it's £10 for a roast on a Sunday, isn't it, Tom?
For you, it might be £9 if you're a season ticket holder.
Unbelievable. But yeah, Ian Thompson's been here recently as well, giving it some rave reviews. So pop on down, loads of events on. Make sure you follow them on Facebook. Link is at the bottom. And this room, the courtroom, is your room to hire if you're a subscriber. And guess what? It's free. Just get in touch below and they will sort it out for you. If you're brand new here, there's a couple of things you can do to help us out, please.
Yeah, please click the subscribe button. That is the most important, baby. And then, yeah, click the like because you like all the stuff we do. And then if you hit that little bell, you'll see when all the good stuff is out. There'll be a reaction straight after the game, regardless of the result. I'll do my player ratings on Telegram. Yeah. So if you really want to help the channel, you are able to sponsor us and help us out. And it's just... I don't know. It's a really nice community on there. I think everyone gets involved, so it's really cool.
£3
sort of, isn't it?
A month, which is like less than the price of a cup of coffee per month. And we furnish them with bloopers, extra content, first looks, help with our thumbnails, and a lot more besides.
Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously Sam gets to work on the vlog. The last vlog at Goodison, potentially.
I'm going to go to the Liverpool City Centre for this. I'm going to get some culture of the city, film the new stadium and stuff, and get some...
Shall I wait in the pub just make sure everything's all right?
Yes, please.
All right, cool. And then we'll obviously dissect it on a second look and go into all the tactics, all the analysis. It's basically like we're like Carragher and a guest, aren't we? Like we do like Monday Night Football stuff. So yeah, make sure you do all that good stuff, and then you'll see all the content.
Right, Everton were at home, just like we were in the third round. They beat League One side Peterborough 2-0, of course.
Comfy.
We smashed the Baggies 5-1, as we said. Now, we've met Everton twice in the FA Cup previously.
I remember losing.
First one was away in January 1937. Do you remember that?
No.
We lost 5-0 in that one. The second time was
I think
at
we
home.
had some injuries.
In February 2016 at home. Do you remember that? And that was a 2-0 loss.
And I remember, I told you this the other day, actually.
Yeah, you did.
That I remember Charlie Daniels missing a penalty.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and Juana Turbe played. And I remember us thinking, I tell you what, we got a player here.
There's only one here, Turbe.
Yeah. I think Lukaku might have scored. I can't remember 100%. But yeah, I do remember them beating us.
Of course, they have won the FA Cup 5 times, last winning it in 1995. The last appearance was 2009 when David Moyes was the manager. So maybe he'll be keen to put the wrongs right in this campaign. And it's the last time that we'll see Goodison Park. It really will be. And it's a funny old ground. It's not got the best views. It's got loads of restricted seats, but sometimes it can be loud.
Yeah.
But equally, they can be silenced as well. Now, they're in a good vein of form at the moment. However, how importantly do you think it'll be treating the cup? Do you think maybe a little bit more now that they've got this buffer in the Premier League? Because if they were tight, you'd probably rest a few players because, the next Premier League game is the important one.
Yeah.
For us, how do we treat it?
It's difficult, mate. And I think from an opposition's perspective, it's annoying, this Everton form, because if they were 2 points above relegation, I think they go, God, we can't afford to get any injuries, cup game, we're not going to win the cup, blah, 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 let's focus on the league. Now with that buffer and a bit of a feel-good and that momentum, I think they almost go pretty much as strong as they can and just try and keep ticking along. Maybe the slight positive for us is a few days later they play Liverpool.
Oh, yes.
I do think that helps.
Yeah.
But I think they'll go pretty strong. I don't think they'll make wholesale changes. They might make a couple here and there. And obviously I'll try and predict it as best I can, but I do think they'll go pretty strong. And yeah, it's a weird one for us because you'd say, well, it should be the same for Bournemouth because we're comfortable. But then we've got a lot of injuries.
Have we?
We have got quite a few.
Haven't spoke about that enough.
No. So on one hand, that means, well, we can't afford to get any more. But on the other hand, it means there aren't many fringe players available. So it's basically first team or youth team that haven't really got any competitive minutes under their belt. So it's a really difficult one for us to juggle. equally, we also want to look at, it's mad that we're saying this, but we've got to keep an eye on Europe, which is a bit mad. And on paper, like I said, I don't like to speak about it too much because on paper, we shouldn't have had any points out of the last 4 and we've got loads. But on paper, I think it's Southampton away, Wolves at home. You know, there's some nice fixtures in there for us. So I think we'll make some changes, but not as many as people maybe think. So I think both teams will go pretty strong and see how they are after about an hour.
Our record with Everton of late has been pretty good. Our last 3 matches against them have been wins. Of course, there are a couple of L's there as well, but on the whole, we're looking all right against them.
We're normally pretty formidable at home against them.
Always at home. So, yeah, let's just clarify the team news there.
Yeah.
So, starting with Everton, out injured Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Is he still out?
Yeah, Calvert-Lewin's still out, and they've also lost Mangala recently. It looked like a bad one, which was a blow for them. I think Brozier's still out as well, and McNeil definitely still out. Who's top. He actually caused us the most problems, I felt, in that last game at their place. And I think they've got a few of the younger players out as well. I think Trinity and then I say younger, and then also Seamus Coleman. But yeah, they're not too bad, but there's just been a few of late. So Mangala and Calvert-Lewin that would have hurt them, but apart from that, I think they're all right.
And if you're watching on YouTube, there's 15 seconds of hell to watch, just as we underline the fact that we are still without players, but there's a suggestion that a few of them may be coming back into contention. We've seen some training photos, and I don't know if you're the same as me, but when I'm watching AFCB TV, if they put a video out or you're looking at photos, you're never looking at the person who's in the main foreground. You're looking at the people in the background. Like, who's that? Yeah, definitely. So like Sinistera, maybe. Yeah. Is Adam Smith on the grass?
I don't think Smithy's too far away, and
Scott.
I think Scott and Cini are probably the closest.
Right.
Would definitely be without Unal, obviously.
Yeah.
Would definitely be without Celesi. Would definitely be without Araujo. Although I think Araujo's getting close.
Yeah.
I think he's starting to do a bit. Definitely without James Hill. Definitely without Julio Soler because he's still out in South America, doing really well, by the way. So most of them are still definitely out, but there might be a few that potentially travel, could be involved. I think the most likely is probably Sinistera and Alex Scott, but remains to be seen. There might be a few surprises in there. Who knows?
So I put out a little video just to give my own thoughts on what is happening with this transfer window that we had, Tom. Which, I mean, I suppose it's underwhelming, really, but. There are various reasons why it looks like the club haven't overly invested. Obviously, we're a club that likes to invest in the future. We've got players that will be blossoming in a couple of seasons' time, including our new man through the door that has gone straight out the door back to where he originally was. However, what's your take on it? Because I was of the mindset that someone's better than no one, but it seems the club's not maybe thinking that, and maybe the harmony of the dressing room's a lot more important than getting new people through the door that have to hit the ground running, and they don't always do that.
Yeah, no, I think the main thing really was because Everton fans, if you don't know, we actually haven't got a fit senior striker. So obviously, don't get me wrong, we've managed to still score plenty of goals in that time.
16 in 4 games, Tom.
Yeah, exactly. And Dango Watara, who's randomly been leading the line, has got a hat-trick, so we're all right. But yeah, I just kind of thought, maybe a lone body. But then, you think about it and you go, okay, so maybe, we don't know, maybe Evan Ilson isn't too far away. So say he's a month away or so. There is an international break as well coming. If we were to go out of the cup, that's another 3 week. So they might be looking at it. And if you're telling a player to come in on loan, a lone striker is going because I want to play. And then in a couple of games' time, Evan Ilson's back. And also, you're not going to suddenly drop Dango yet. So he might have a couple of games waiting to play. Then when he gets his chance, Evan Ilson's then back. So it's hard to maybe it's harder than we appreciate to tempt someone. I still think you can if you pay the money. But then do we want him to just be throwing money willy-nilly? Probably not either.
Exactly. I said I sense the threshold is a lot higher in terms of quality.
Yes.
It's not like it feels like these days we're not just splashing money on duds.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like every signing's got to be astute, and it has to be given the rate at which players will come and go.
Yeah, and equally I also think there was a few until they both got injured, which is just so ironic that we're looking for a striker because we've got so many injuries, and two strikers that we were very briefly linked with was Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Fulkrug at West Ham. They both got injured. But I looked at them two and went, but they're not Iraola. There's no point of just bringing in a striker if he's not going to do what Iraola wants him to do. So Dango Watara might not be an actual striker, but he does what Iraola wants him to do. Yeah. Maybe he thinks, I'm happy with Watara. Evan Ilson's not too far away. And Jebo can come on and do what I need him to do. Sinistera's close. He can play up front. Kluivert can go there if I need to. Semenyo, I think, will be okay. We would have liked a little bit of... I think I think what happened was we, quite early in the window, loaned out players that weren't playing in Max Aarons and Philip Billing. So we all assumed, okay, we've loaned them out because we're getting some wages off to get a loan in.
Yeah. Because
it's hard to understand why you'd loan them two out and literally have kids on the bench, because he was using particularly Philip Billing off the bench. But equally, we might have promised them if they hadn't had the minutes to get them gone, to go and get some football. Not that Billing's played any football since he's gone. It's a weird one, and it is one of them ones that is a gamble, because even though it's not guaranteed you get Europe if you bring in a striker on loan, if we were to, we've obviously gone into the January transfer window, it has ended and we're 7th. And if we were to finish outside that top 7, top 8, come the end of the season, and it's maybe because we haven't been finishing our chances, unfortunately, people will then say, should we have got someone in? It is what it is, mate. But we're not the only club. I mean, Arsenal the other night, everyone's saying, well, look, that's what happens when you don't bring in a striker. Everyone's kind of doing that. So it is what it is. But if you try and think positively, which I am, is that, okay, maybe the club have looked at all the injuries and gone, none of these are that far away.
It's a risk either way, isn't it? Because it is a risk if you bring someone in and it doesn't work, but then obviously it's a risk just relying on what we've got, but they maybe consider that less of a risk because we've already got the players that, you know, fit the modular positions that we have on the pitch. So, yeah, really interesting to see how it pans out. Now, Everton fans, just want a bit of a word with you, right? Our Liverpool fans always like that. So, like, we've just played them, right, and lost. But some of the, like even the car horn out there, hates them. Tom, I've got to say, like, they won 2-0, and obviously we've got our issues with the ref, but we're not saying they didn't deserve to win. Like, let's just compare two examples. In January, we beat Newcastle 4-1. Smashed them up, right? Their fans were so gracious online. They were so gracious. Liverpool beat us 2-0. Some of the most saltiest comments I've ever seen on social media and YouTube. Maybe we wound them up a bit. I don't know.
And I think maybe a lot of them are Liverpool fans that live in Bournemouth and stuff. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've never had as many people message me asking if I can get them tickets. I was, no, I can't. You're a Liverpool fan. Where were you? But yeah, anyway, I think in general, I do think that a lot of people look at the like thumbnail or title of us moaning at the ref and don't watch the video. I think it's got to be a bit of that, because in some of the comments I think, but we didn't say that. We all went, the ref was absolutely shocking, but the difference was the quality of Mo Salah, and we're not saying we deserve to win the game, but it was just a shame because I felt and I've had loads of conversation about people saying, oh, was that a penalty? Wasn't it a penalty? The fact of the matter is what I said. Would we have got that at Anfield? No, that's what I'm saying. We wouldn't have. But they're a better team than us.
We had an identical situation at Brentford. And it wasn't awarded. Therefore, that's what we consider to be the laws of the game, because that referee said that. So when it happens again, almost identically, like automatically we're thinking, oh, well, no, it's fine. It's not going to be a penalty. And it was. So we're just frustrated with the consistency or lack of. Not necessarily saying, but are they always like that?
Yeah. Let us know. I mean, I do worry if you're salty when you're top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, got a good chance in all the domestic cups. You've barely spent any money either. Weird one, but I'm honestly not sure. But listen, it was one of them games that was frustrating for us from the ref's point of view. But Liverpool were too good. That's absolutely fine.
Speaking of referees, do you want to know who the referee is?
Absolutely not. Stop doing this. You do this every week, and I jokingly go, "No, I don't want to know." I don't want to know. I hate them all.
All right, Joe, just close your ears a minute. It's John Brooks. He last refereed us against Everton.
Did we win that? Oh, we won that.
Yeah, like this year.
Oh, I like him. I like Brooksy.
Nice guy.
I guarantee after the game, I'll say I don't like him anymore. Because they're all crap, mate.
Let's do the predicted teams then, come on. Okay, then we'll start with Everton. Good luck with all of these, by the way. So you've got an impeccable record of late. So Everton fans, if you're new here, you've got 44 out of 44 in the last 2 games.
Yes, right? I have indeed. I feel like I've got more chance at Everton than Bournemouth, got to be honest. And got a clue what we're going to do. I feel like they'll go pretty strong. I'm going to say they're going to. A lot of people do the cup keeper thing. I don't think either team will, so I'm going to stick with Pickford. Okay. Wouldn't mind it if they did, because that's Begovic play, and we love him. But I think it's going to be Jordan Pickford. I'm going to put in Patterson at right back. They've played O'Brien there a few times, but I think they'll give him a chance. Tarkovsky and Branthwaite to continue at centre back, and Zabani's mate Mikolenko to play at left back.
Tom, have you done that on purpose to make the graphics so difficult that I've had to squidge these names together?
Yeah, the names are too long, mate. I can cope. And you would have moaned if I give him a nickname. Do you know what I mean? Midfield, I'm going to put Garner in. He's back now, and I think they'll give him a chance. I actually quite like Garner. Gahey, and then Decore probably be a little bit more advanced. I think he's been a match winner against us before, hasn't he, Decore? When they stayed up, he got the goal, didn't he? Yeah, he's always a decent threat for him. I'm going to put Harrison in to get him some minutes. They've been playing Lindstrom there, but I was just thinking that's maybe a change that they'll do for the Cup. Not too much difference in quality, really. And Dye off the other side, who I think is probably their best player. And they're going to have to play Beto, I think, because obviously no Calvert-Lewin. So it's pretty much their strongest, but obviously there's just a few little changes I've made.
As for Bournemouth then, 4-2-3-1. Who's in goal? Is it going to be our mate Will Dennis? Signed until 2028, is it?
What a legend. He can't leave this club.
What a boy!
But I like the fact that we see something there that we want to keep him around the place. That's great. But I don't see him changing the goalkeeper. I think it'll be Kepa. The reason I'm not changing the defence is because I don't think we can. And that's no disrespect, but I think the only players that could come in are centre-backs that are like young youth players. And I feel like he showed this against West Brom, he likes changing the front players because of the energy, but he'll keep the defence settled. So I'm going to stick with Lewis Cook, continuing that position at right back, so we haven't got anyone else. Zabani and Howson and Milos Kirk as left back. Yeah. My midfield issues, if you like, I'm just going to make a point on it, is the reason I don't think he plays Ryan Christie is Ryan Christie is one yellow card away from a 2-game ban. Right. And this competition counts because it's domestic. Yeah. And if he was playing a cup game and get a booking and be out Southampton and then Wolves, do you know what I mean? That would be a bad one. So I think they'll try and rest him. So I'm going to go with Adams and I'm going to give Winterburn another chance in there. The
only thing I think of is we might have a surprise from someone else.
Yeah.
Like,
or you put Tav back, because I'm going to put Tav in the 10. Yeah. Put Tav back and maybe Sidney's available, or you play Cliver, or Scott, or someone comes in. But I'm going to go Adams and Winterburn with Tav just in front. Okay. I'm going to stick with Brooksy, because he's been coming off a fair bit. And I'm just going to chuck in Silcott Dewberry, because I think he'll try and rest Semenyo, playing a lot of minutes. And he could.
What if he's a revelation?
He could be. It wouldn't surprise me. But it also means you've got ammo on the bench.
So who would that potentially need to know? Semenyo, Sidney if he's back?
Yeah, Semenyo, Sidney if he's back. Cliver. Watara I'm going to leave out because he can play in so many positions, and I'm just going to give Dan Jefferson a run up front. So the team looks a little bit makeshift, certainly in front areas, but that would allow you, if you're in the game on, say, an hour, to bring on a Cliver, to bring on a Semenyo, potentially Sidney, to bring on a Watara. So I'm going to go with that because I still think that's good enough. Yeah. And it gives you options on the bench, but it also rests a few potentially. So I'm going to go with that and I just chuck Silcott Dewberry. It could be a Reece Dottin, Ado Ajay, I don't know. But I'm just going to say they're going to chuck Silcott Dewberry in.
Right, it's time for your predictions. Let us know what you think the scoreline is going to be. We're not playing for any roast dinners this week, okay? This is just between us and you. Whilst you have a think, I'm going to ask Tom what he thinks. What are you thinking, Tom? Are we going to go down the same route? No, there's no point now.
No point now, it's done.
Because that's done now.
Basically,
I predict a loss.
And then we win. But that got cancelled out against Liverpool, which was obviously 2-0 to Liverpool, and I'm going to stick with the same scoreline. I'm going to go 2-0 Bournemouth. I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be quite tight, but I just think that we'll, because I believe that we'll go as strong as we can defensively, I think we'll shut them out. And then I just think we'll have a little bit too much going forward. And nick one and then nick another one when they go for it a little bit. So I'm going to go 2-0 Bournemouth.
God, you may not know the
Jefferson
answer to
scoring.
If it's a draw at full time, is it? There is extra time. Yeah. Okay. I think it's going to go to extra time.
Arthur.
Is there VAR?
Don't know. I ain't got a clue.
It's so inconsistent.
It's like the League Cup. Just going off a little bit. Obviously, I saw the other night Arsenal game. There was a goal ruled out because they have VAR, but that's not in every round. Because when we played West Ham and went out, the goal shouldn't have counted, but they didn't have VAR. I never. So I don't know, and I don't give a. I really hope there's no VAR. That'd be great fun.
I think it's gonna
be
a draw. I think we're gonna win on pens.
Yeah, it's such a whip. Have we done that before? No, we haven't.
I think we're gonna win on pens.
But they got Pickford. We got Kepa.
Exactly. Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Tell you what the dream would be, actually. Penalties, but Dennis as the hero. Well, Dennis is in goal. No, I think we'll be too strong for him, mate. I do. But you're going, what are you going? 1-1, 2-1?
1-1. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm going for. Let us know your predictions. Really interested to hear what you've got to say. We might even heart the ones we like. But if you're travelling up, credit to you. We're going up. We cannot wait. Safe journey. See you in the pub. Maybe see you in and around Liverpool, getting some culture in like me. And fingers crossed, we get through to the next round where we face Liverpool away again.
Yes, jeez. You know that's happening, by the way.
If it does.
And if we lose,
I'm done.
If we lose, like Plymouth will beat Liverpool.
Do you care if we lose? Do you care?
Not really.
I don't think I do.